The following is a presentation of the City of Miamisburg, celebrating its bicentennial in 2018.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Let it be known that a community meeting was held at the Daniel Gephardt Tavern on the 20th day of February in the year of our Lord, 1818, for the purpose of renaming the settlement of Hull Station. The results of the election have been announced, and henceforth the settlement of Hull Station shall be known as Miamisburg, Ohio. This action of the voters will commence immediately. Furthermore, it was decreed that great things would happen in the settlement of Miamisburg, attested by the founding fathers, Dr. John Treon, Dr. Peter Treon, Emanuel Gephardt, and Jacob Kircher. If you're not standing, please stand as we ask American Legion Post 165 under the leadership of Post Commander Wayne Kern to come forward with the colors. They will be accompanied by flutist Gretchen Germain and Leah Ronimus. We will now be led in the national anthem by the Miamisburg High School Madrigal Singers under the direction of Leanne Kenner.
Detail, right face, set, on.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Will you, will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commander Kern, you may dismiss the honor guard.
Detail, port, on. Left face.
Remain standing for the invocation by the Reverend Joe Getz, pastor of Trinity Church, which is the oldest congregation in the city. Pastor Joe.
My, how it changes. We meet like this about every 25 years. It's a great time to give thanks to God for all he's done for our city. Let us bow our heads. Our gracious God and Father, we thank you as we look over our shoulders at the past, how you have directed us, how you have led us, and how you have blessed us as a community to serve others and to serve you and to care about those families that live within our parameters and to do good for your kingdom within them. And so we ask you to be with us as we continue to celebrate this great anniversary of 200 years, to watch over us, to bless us, and to guide us as a community. And may we give you honor and praise, for you are the reason that we exist, for you are our creator, our redeemer, and our sustainer. In all these things we give thanks. Bless us in this evening meal, and bless the food that's been prepared for us, that it might nourish us and strengthen us to continue to do our work. It is in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, that we pray under his authority. Amen.
You may be seated. Let's give the American Legion Post 165 a round of applause. We have three different chairmen of this event, and I'm going to call upon the person that's responsible for the food, and that is Carl Zimmerman, who will come forward and explain to us what happens next. Carl?
Well, thank you for coming tonight to celebrate the 200th birthday. We all came here for two reasons: to eat some great food from Bill Winkle's Catering and to see the fantastic video that's been prepared for us tonight. Okay, so if we want to start with the head table, then we'll go to table 1 and table 2. Thank you.
I am super excited to be here to celebrate this. I'm humbled that this is my hometown and I'm here to do it and represent the city in the way that I can.
It is amazing the amount of effort that this committee and a lot of people put into this program, not only now, today, tonight, but for next summer. I mean, it is fantastic, and certainly we appreciate it and happy to be here. And you see the people in the period costumes. It's like, that's pretty nice, pretty neat.
It's a fun event.
Thank you.
Tonight is very important because this is when our founding was, and our founding fathers are being recognized for what they did and what Miamisburg has become. So there are so many people here that are so glad to be part of Miamisburg.
Tonight is Founders Day. This is the actual day that Miamisburg was born, and 200 years ago. And I'm with Zachariah Hole, who was the proprietor of Hole Station before it became Miamisburg.
It was named Hole Station after me.
That's right.
But I'm happy that they're going to change the name. I really am. Because someday, I said, this town is going to be great things going to happen in this town. And when it said great things happen in Hole Station, that didn't have the ring to it.
That's right.
I'm really happy. My great-great-great-grandfather was one of the founders of Miamisburg. My maiden name was Hetzel. I'm Phyllis Abney now.
And at this time, I'm going to call Carl Zimmerman back. Let's give Carl and his committee a round of applause for this great meal.
Yes, and we'd like to thank Bullwinkle's, Bakery 151, and Jerry Getz for the desserts they provided tonight, and of course Bullwinkle's for their food. Thank their staff as well. And our many volunteers, people came in and set up the room. They set up all these really interesting centerpieces that belong to them. Okay, so don't think you can take a centerpiece home, okay? It's everybody's private property. So I've had a lot of questions about what I'm wearing. No, I'm not a preacher. No, it's not my night shirt. Thank you for saying I look like an artist. That was great. But I'd like to return a comment to someone. Yes, if you want to call this Colonel Sanders tie, that's fine. We got a lot of those here tonight. And on the second thing is, even though I may look like I need one, this is not a maternity dress. So, did our founders' fathers wear these? This is a smock that was worn by people in the mid-1800s, that if they had on their Sunday go-to-meeting clothes, and they all of a sudden had to do a chore, they'd put these smocks on so they didn't get dirty. But I don't think our founding fathers wore these when they were clearing the land. But one thing I do know about our founding fathers, if they weren't here 200 years ago, we wouldn't be here tonight. So we'd like to give a toast to our founding fathers. You can raise your glass or do a here. Our founding fathers are Zachariah Hull, Peter and John Treon, Emmanuel Gephardt, and Jacob Kircher. Here.
You know, one of the founding fathers that we did not toast was Zachariah Hull. He was the first one here. So basically, he was a founding father, even though he was dead before 1818. So let's toast Zachariah Hull. Here.
I'm going to play the tape that we buried at the 175th, which was the Conceptual Centennial. Bobby wrote the lyrics, and I did the music. And so I'm going to play that one first, okay? And then I'm going to show you what we're doing with it in the year 2018.
When Zachariah Hull arrived, 'twas plain as could be. The great Miami Valley was a vision to see. A lush and fertile riverbed with great oak trees. Said, let's build our cabin here, God's palm tree. So by the riverside, he built a big stockade to keep his home protected from an Indian raid. Fish and game were plentiful as far as the eye could see. That's why they set coal stations the perfect place to be. Conceptual Centennial, that's how Miamisburg began many years ago. And now we are a city proud of our ancestry. Celebrate Miamisburg, the Star City. Valentine Gephardt brought his 3 stalwart sons to build a golden future that was second to none. Son Daniel built a tavern strong along the riverside to feed and house the settlers who were traveling by. From Pennsylvania came 2 men named Peter and John, who opened up a practice as the doctor's triad. They met Emmanuel Gephardt, who'd arrived in 09, and also Jacob Kircher. They were 4 of a kind. Conceptual Centennial, that's how Miamisburg began many years ago. And now we are a city proud of our ancestry. Celebrate Miamisburg, the Star City. These four courageous settlers thought the future looked bright. Planned to build a village, but they wanted it right. They planted 90 lots that had a good river view and offered them to purchasers at public vendue. They named the town Miamisburg, and you will agree, a more progressive, friendly town you never will see. We're thankful for the pioneers who homesteaded here as we celebrate 175 years. Sensual quintennial, that's how Miamisburg began many years ago. Now we are a city proud of our ancestry. Celebrate Miamisburg, the Star City. Celebrate Miamisburg, the Star City.
Okay. Now, you saw the words progressive in there, because this is going to be pretty progressive. We kind of based this off of the new Hamilton that's on Broadway. So this is somewhat wrapped. So, I think when we're going to bury one in the 21st century, I talked to Bobby and I talked to the mayor, and I'm like, let's just do the music of the 21st century. So some of you may like it, some of you may not. But in 100 years, they'll dig it up and we won't be around.
Now come help us celebrate the way Miamisburg began 200 years ago. And now we're a proud city of our great history. Come and join us in celebrating the Star City. When Zechariah Hole arrived, it was as plain as could be. The Miami Valley was a vision to see, with a lush riverbed, walnut trees. He said, let's build our cabin here in God's country. So by the riverside, he built a big stockade to keep his home protected from the Indian raid. Fish and game were plentiful as far as eyes can see. That's why they said Hole Station's the perfect place to be. 200 years old. Our town. 200 years old. Valentine Gephardt brought his 3 Star Wars sons to build a golden future that was second to none. Son Daniel built a tavern strong along the riverside to feed and house the settlers that was traveling by. From Pennsylvania came 2 men, Peter and John, who opened up a practice as a doctor's trion. They met Emmanuel Gephardt in '09 and also Jacob Kircher. They were 4 of a kind. 200 years old. Our town, the Star City. 200 years old. Thought the future looked bright, but they wanted it right. They planted 90 lots with a good river view and offered them to purchase at the public vendue. You will agree, a more progressive, friendly town that you rarely will see. Thankful for the pioneers who homesteaded here as we begin to celebrate our 200 years.
200
200 years old.
Founded by families courageous and bold. Our town,
the Star City, 200 years old.
Founded by families courageous and bold. Our town,
the Star City,
200 years old. Founded by families courageous and bold. Our town, Star City,
the Star City, 200 years old.
Founded by families courageous and
This is the first time Bobby heard it, so I'm not sure if she likes it or doesn't like it, and if you want, we'll put it in a CD, and if you don't, we'll start all over again. So, anyway, thank you very much. This is Sahi, right? And my madrigals.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miamisburg. Happy birthday to you.
Bobby, you cease to amaze me. Writing rap music now. She has progressed.
She is the most progressed woman that I have ever met. She really is.
Okay, thank you. Let's give another hand to Leanne Kenner and the Madrigal Singers. I told you at the beginning there were three individuals that had taken a leadership role in making tonight happen. You heard from Carl Zimmerman. Now you're going to hear from Dr. Carol O'Connell, who is one of the other chairs, and she wants to say a few things to you. And later on, we'll hear from John Warrington when it gets time to show the movie. Carol. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and welcome to everybody. It's just so great to see all you people, and some of you in vintage clothing and others in clothing. But a year ago, the mayor asked us if we wouldn't put together a program for Founders Day, and so we did. Bobby Sweeney, John Warrington, Kevin Schuler, who's here, and I were the ones to put that together. And we are members of the Historical Society's media production group. So we made this our project for the year. If you watch Channel 5, you will see many of our interviews. So watch Channel 5 because they are broadcasting us tonight, aren't you? Are we live? I don't think so. So we decided, rather than just show you pictures and things like that, that we would do a video, and that's what you're going to see tonight. You're going to see 200 years in 30 minutes. But how did we get, you can't do that without a script. So Bobby and I became script writers, and we had a lot of places that we could go where we could find a lot of information about Miamisburg. You'd be surprised what's on the internet and what's Ohio Historical Society and just a lot of places and talking to people. It was just great. And my friends Bobby and Karen used to take me on Saturday afternoon tours of the city, and they brought me into places of the city that I didn't know about, and they would tell me interesting stories of things that were and the things that were to be. So anyway, that's how our script started. And it was great working with Bobby. She has a wonderful memory of lots of things, and she's gifted with the language of the English language. She knows just the right word to say. So we made a list of everything we knew about, and we began to write, just start writing and writing. And after 16 drafts, we finally came up with one that we could work with, a script that we could tweak and that we could form into what you will be seeing here tonight. But our goal was to have all of you look at that and you'll say, I didn't know that happened in Miamisburg. Now you better say that and let me hear you say that. Or you might say, oh, I was there, I remember that. So there'll be a lot of things to see as you see as you see this. And John Warrington will be telling you the next part of it, how he took the script and brought it into pictures. And we have Kevin Schuler with us, who has this creamy voice that I really swooned over the first time I heard it. And even at my age, there's life there. That's fine. You've got a good one there. That's off the script. That's off the script. But anyway, I think you will enjoy that. And John, where are you? You take it from there. John put the...
I got to talk before we get...
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you this, though. But John put the pictures to the words, and then Kevin put the words to the pictures. So thank you very much.
Okay, we need to make some introductions of people that are here. First, let me introduce the head table. My wife, who we will be married in April, 51 years, Judy Church. And I didn't forget her this time. Our state representative, Niraj Antani. The treasurer of our organization, Phyllis Abney, and her husband, Quillert. The Reverend Joe Getz and Terry, I think, or Jerry, they're back there. Oh, they're at Bible study. Okay. Carl and Carol Zimmerman. John and Karen Warrington. Mrs. Bobby Sweeney. And Dr. Carol O'Connell again. Members of City Council. This is a City Council night. We canceled the meeting because this meeting is more important, because this is the birthday of our community, 200 years. Our Vice Mayor, Sarah Clark, Councilwoman Michelle Collins. I'm going to read them all off and they can stand and then you can welcome them. Michelle Collins, Councilman Ryan Colin, Councilman Mike McCabe, Councilman Tom Nicholas, hold on, John Stalder, and Councilman Greg Thompson. Let's give them a round of applause. Council sets the policy, but it takes a good team to put everything together. And tonight, our city manager, Keith Johnson, and his assistant city manager, Emily Christian, are with us. My secretary of 26 years, it's hard to believe, but Kim Combs is involved in every aspect of life in the city of Miamisburg. She helped immensely with this program. Kim Combs. Our Public Information Director, Gary Giles, is assisting Kim Moat as the PR people for this celebration. Where's Gary? Be looking in your mail for the next Civic Focus, which I believe comes out this week, later in the week, and it's devoted entirely to the bicentennial. Our good friends at Miami Township, the president of the board, John Morris, and the vice president, Doug Berry. Miamisburg City School District, Superintendent Dr. David Vale, and board members Dale Toadvine and Ann Neese. Members of the steering committee for the bicentennial, these people, I tell you, are godsend to me because one person cannot handle a celebration this size. And Kurt Stevie, our vice chair, and the newly elected president of the Miamisburg Historical Society, Kurt Stevie. We have two treasurers, one for the Historical Society, Carolyn Kilpatrick, and one for the bicentennial, Phyllis Abney. Another person doing a terrific job for us, Kim Moat, Communications Director for the bicentennial. Sean Myers is not with us. He's president of the Farmers Merchants Bank, but Sean is our finance chairman. He makes sure that we try to stick within that budget that we're working on. And that budget, my friends, is $250,000, but I think we're going to extend it to $350,000 because prices are coming in a lot higher. And we're going to give you the best celebration that this city ever had. And it's not taxpayers' money. It's money that has been donated by our businesses and individuals in this great community. We couldn't do it without them. Let's give those businesses a round of applause. Now, anyone that is on any committee connected with the bicentennial, stand up. Should be a lot of you. Stand up. Any committee. Okay, now that leads me into a thing. I thought more would stand up than they did. Some were, I think, bashful and didn't. You know, to put a celebration on like this, we need volunteers. So, those of you that didn't sign up, we meet the fourth Tuesday of every month at City Council Chambers at 7. Now, we're not meeting next week because we met a week ago in preparation for this event. But in March, starting back in March, we're going to be meeting the fourth Tuesday of every month, 7 o'clock. We need your involvement. And I'll tell you, you'll enjoy being involved. It's a fun group. And I promise you, you'll get in and out in one arm. It was mentioned earlier about cable television. Miami Valley Communications Council. Carl Schukamel and Liberty Lord are up there, and this will be televised. It will appear on cable channel 5 throughout the rest of the year, and probably next. And so you'll be able to see these events. Now, the only thing you're not going to be able to see is when we get to this video, we're cutting those cameras off. People at home aren't going to see that video because we're going to sell that video. And if they tape it, they're not going to buy it. So But let's give them a round of applause. They do a lot for the city of Miamisburg. I also want to introduce, we have a table over here from Sycamore Hospital, part of the Kettering Health Network. Wally Sackett is the president of Sycamore. They are celebrating their 40th anniversary in this community this year. And on Wednesday night, on June the 20th, Ricky Skaggs, I can officially say it now, Ricky Skaggs will be center stage in Riverfront Park. Thank you. Bobby Sweeney, will you stand up, please? This great lady, in 1968, served as headquarters manager for the Sesquicentennial, appointed by General Chairman Ted Fink. And then in 1993, Bobby served as secretary of the 175th celebration. I was chairman of that, and I asked Bobby to assist, and she did. When this all started about 3 years ago, I said, she was one of the first people I spoke to, and I said, Bobby, need your help. Got another celebration coming up, and I need you to be part of it. She looked at me and she says, Richard, you know how old I am? I said, I know exactly how old you are, but I said, I need advisors. And I says, I don't know a better advisor than Bobby Sweeney. Now, Bobby Sweeney came to Miamisburg really in 1947 when she met the love of her life, Everett, during the Second World War. Everett was in charge of artillery batteries at Fort MacArthur, California, and Bobby was secretary to the base commander. They were married May the 18th, 1947, and returned to Ohio. Bobby is originally from Texas. Bobby is the proud parent of 7 children and 10 grandchildren. Now that 10 grandchildren was, it's changed because I issued a proclamation May 18th, 1997, and I'm using those figures. So I would imagine there's a lot more grandchildren in the family, and 11 great-grandchildren. When it came to this, first of all, let me tell you that Bobby and her husband Everett were very involved in this community. Everett served on city council. He was the president of the city council. He was chair of the Board of Zoning Appeals for 27 years. And shortly after Everett took over as secretary, the regular secretary of the Board of Appeals resigned, and Everett asked Bobby, he says, will you help me fill in till we get somebody? And you filled in for how many years? 18 years. Bobby is the backbone of the Miamisburg Historical Society. She is the person that keeps us on the straight and narrow. And I can tell you, if she's unhappy with something, she don't mind telling you. And I'm her sounding board sometimes. She'll say, I just got to talk, and I want to let you know what I feel. And then she does. And then we go on, she says, now, I'll support anything you guys want to do. So that's the kind of woman she is. For this celebration, Bobby Sweeney is being named as the honorary chairman of the 2018 bicentennial.
Dick knows not to hand me a microphone.
Speak right.
I will speak right in the prize. I came here 71 years ago. Ohio grows the most handsome men you ever saw. And when my husband reported to Fort MacArthur as a young second lieutenant, Coast Artillery Corps anti-aircraft, I took one look at him as he reported to my boss, and I said, "Young man, you don't know it yet, but my name is written all over your body." Well, it took him about 4 years to figure out what that writing on his body was. And when he came back from the Philippines, we were married, and he brought me to Ohio. I came out to test Ohio to make sure I wanted to leave my home in California. And I came in January. I thought that was a visible test, and stayed for 2 weeks. And I fell in love with this country, and I knew why I fell in love with my husband, because he was an epitome of an Ohio young man. I have never felt so welcome in a town, city, as I have been in Miamisburg. It has offered me every opportunity to be a Miamisburgian, and I am so glad I took it. I'm glad of the 7 children, because I told them I had them so they'd take care of me in my old age. And they've done very well. Most of them are here tonight, and some of my grandchildren too. I just wanted them to see the film. I didn't know this was going to happen. Thank you, Miamisburg, for giving me the greatest life I could have chosen for myself. To be a part of it, to be a part of you, and to love it as much as I do, and to love the people as much as I do. Dick has been a dear friend, and he's given me every opportunity, as he says, to cry on his shoulder when I think things aren't going well. But thank you, Dick, with all my heart. I will treasure this. I don't know how long. After all, I'm going to be 96 this year, you know. And thank you with all my heart.
John, one more minute. As I work my way down the table, our state representative, Niraj Antani, has a presentation to make. And I just want you to know how proud I am of you. My party, you know, I'm not a member of the Republican Party, but I'm the only elected Democrat in Miamisburg. So I think in this district, yeah. But my party asked me, how many years ago? 3 years ago. They said, we want you to run against this young man. When they told me who it was, I said, you gotta be kidding. I said, I swore that kid in as a student body member at bar school, 3rd grade. And now he's the youngest person of the Ohio House of Representatives, Niraj Antani.
Well, thank you, Mayor, and thank you all for having me here today. It truly is a very special night. You know, Mayor, as I was driving down and thinking about today and what today stands for, and I was thinking about 200 years, and then I was thinking about your 25 years as mayor. And you have been mayor 12.5% of this city's history. And that is not, I don't think that's, I think that's great. And as the mayor just spoke about, we have differences. I'm a Republican and the mayor is a Democrat. He graduated in 1959. I graduated in 2009 from Miamisburg. But at the end of the day, there's one overriding commonality. between the mayor and I and between all of us in this room, and that's that we're from Miamisburg. And to me, that is the most important part of myself and of all of us. So it truly is an honor to be here. You know, we heard, the mayor's story and Bobby's story and the story of a lot of great Miamisburg families, the Zinks, the Belvos, the Gebhardts, on and on and on. Antani doesn't necessarily sound like one of those. However, this Sunday, February 25th, this week is a big week, Miamisburg's 200th, but this Sunday, February 25th, is the 40-year anniversary of my parents immigrating from India to Miamisburg. So we've only been here 20% of the city's history, but I can tell you that, we talk about, Miamisburg being the star city. I think it's on the back of the mint that, Miamisburg is a star city, and we hear that a lot. But to me, Miamisburg is the city of the American dream, because in 1978, my parents immigrated from India to Miamisburg and were able to work and achieve the American dream. And that's my Miamisburg story. And we all have Miamisburg stories. And that's what we are here to celebrate tonight, and why it's so special for me to be here as just a boy from the Burg to be here with you tonight. And so, I have a resolution that was adopted by the Ohio House of Representatives, H.R. 361, for the city of Miamisburg on its bicentennial. Whereas the members of the House of Representatives of the 132nd General Assembly of the state of Ohio are pleased to pay tribute to the city of Miamisburg on the auspicious occasion of its 200th anniversary. And whereas this is a momentous occasion and it provides an ideal time to acknowledge the exceptional achievements of this fine community, we are pleased to commend the residents of the city of Miamisburg for their foresight, dedication, and selfless donations of time, energy, and ability. For these diligent people have certainly set an example of concerned and responsible citizenship that is worthy of emulation. And whereas, since its incorporation in 1818, the city of Miamisburg has enjoyed the benefits of a generous and civic-minded population, and those who currently make the area their home take great pride in their community's rich heritage. Their ongoing efforts have had a profound impact, and we applaud them for their commitment to the continued well-being of Miamisburg. And therefore, let it be resolved that we, the members of the House of Representatives of the 132nd General Assembly of the state of Ohio, in adopting this resolution, applaud with great pride the city of Miamisburg as it commemorates its bicentennial and offer our best wishes for a prosperous future. Adopted January 23rd, 2018. Signed, Clifford Rosenberger, Speaker of the House, and Neeraj Anthani, your state representative. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Okay, now let me move this back. And John Warrington, we're going to hear from John Warrington now. Now, John and Karen flew back from Florida to be here for this event, so thank you for the sacrifice. I bet you are.
Thank you, Mayor. And it's a tough act to follow from all the speeches we've heard, but I just want to give you a little bit of flavor of my collaboration with Bobby and Carol and Kevin to put this video together. It truly was a work of love, being a Miamisburg resident and a historian and a library media person all my life. We started this project basically almost this time last year. It was in March that we had our first meeting for the script writing, and it went through March, April, May, and finally I think I said that's enough. In June we had finished about 6 revisions of the script, and I said I'm going to have to start shooting sometime. I'm watching all these words go on paper, and I said please let me start videoing and doing some photograph work. So I started this basically in June, and I started finding visual images that represented the scripts that Carol and Bobby put down on paper. June, July, August, September. I think I finished the 5th revision of this in October. So it took a long time, but it was really, every time we met, the great thing about meeting with Bobby and Carol's, and especially with Bobby, is I learned more history about Miamisburg just sitting there and hearing her tell stories. It was just wonderful. So I'm really grateful for that. But like I said, this is a labor of love, and I hope you enjoy it. So.
John Warrington and your group, magnificent. And as we said, that will be for sale at a later date this summer. This is the second bicentennial event of the year. And we have declared that there's going to be an event sanctioned activity every month of 2018. Then in June 16th to the 23rd, I really urge you to stay at home. We've got a week of activities planned for you that you don't need to go on vacation. You can get all the entertainment right here in your hometown of Miamisburg, Ohio. We've got two major parades. I'm urging every business in the community, every church in the community, any organization, families, put a float in the parade. The Ohio State Alumni Band's going to be the featured group in the June 16th parade. The Air Force Band of Flight, the debut of our Miamisburg High School Alumni Band, which has been practicing for some time, and they're going to be doing a concert also during that week. Every day has a designation to it. Religious Heritage Day, Youth Day, Ladies Day, so forth. Wednesday, I've told you about, Ricky Skaggs is going to be here. The hospital's going to do some things at their campus and then bring their entertainment down to be part of the community's celebration. The Saturday, the 23rd, is probably going to be the biggest parade Miamisburg has ever witnessed. I'm anticipating 2 to 2.5 hours, if everybody shows up as supposed to. And that Doug Sorrell back there, he has 7 shrine temples that are going to be participating in the parade. It will end that day with a performance of the Dayton Philharmonic Concert Band and a giant fireworks display. Also in that parade will be the Ohio 73rd Regimental Band from the Civil War days. They are going to encamp in Veterans Park that evening, and then on Sunday morning, the 24th, they are going to march to Riverfront Park and do a worship service in the park, which the community is invited. Mark Twain's coming to Miamisburg. That's on Tuesday, I believe, that week, and that's going to be here at the Baum Opera House. And Masonic Temple is bringing a reenactment of Mark Twain. We have someone that portrays Mark, and he's going to be doing a show right here at the Baum Opera House. There's going to be all kinds of activities. car shows, you name it, craft shows, whatever. And entertainment-wise, every day at Riverfront Park, center stage, from 12 noon to 3 o'clock every day, children's activities. From 3 o'clock to 11 o'clock every day, adult music for adults and families. So it's going to be a variety of different things. We might even get Bobby to write another rap piece. And you up to that? So we invite you to be part of it. Now, it takes money to do this, and the Merchants Association came up with a great idea, which we're going to unveil tonight, even though it's been on Facebook a couple days early. We have you can hold that up. This goes on sale tomorrow. Our own Monopoly set. And it will be on sale at the Historical Society, Market Square Building, Fox Motors, Ron's Pizza, Nestor Insurance, the Coffee Cup, Classic Stitch, Masters Insurance, Farmers and Merchants Bank, and it's $25. It has a history of Miamisburg. It has our own unique little buildings and our money, and the tokens that you go around the board, have all been purchased, and a portion, this is a Merchants Association, but I understand that a donation will be forthcoming to the celebration committee. So make sure you get this. We have 1,000 copies of this, so they're going to go fast. I can tell you, the day I was at the city building, and since that story hit early, our switchboard was going crazy. They wanted to know when it was coming out and when it was where it was going to be. So it's a great keepsake. When you leave here tonight, downstairs in the lobby, you can sign up for this game. Can't buy it tonight, but starting at 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Market Square Building and at these other locations, it will be on sale. $25 a piece. So make sure you get one. This will be a good gift for Christmas for your kids if they live out of the community to remember their hometown. We've got all kinds of memorabilia. There's more going to be coming out, and there just so happens to be a few bobbleheads left, so you can also pick up your bobblehead. So anyway, I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting your community. I know we all love this great town, and this is a great opportunity. Not everybody gets to celebrate 200 years of their community's heritage. So I'm not planning on being around for the next one. So, Niraj? Okay. I'll be thinking about you. Thank you for being here. God bless you, and I hope to see you throughout the year at these events.